Hi and welcome back to the channel, V8 Creative and part 2 of the Ultima RS build. On today's episode, I'm going to cover 4 things. Firstly, what skill set you need to build an RS? How long will it take you? What room do you need to build it? And what tools you need? So with that in mind, let's just look at the intro. Firstly, ability. What ability do you need to build a car like an Ultima RS? Now, the car I'm going to build on this channel is what I call a pure Ultima, whereby I'm getting every component from Ultima Sports. Now, I explained in the first episode why I'm doing that, but that is the simplest way to build a car because you know you have all the components, you know they're all going to fit, and if you have a problem, you can pick up the phone or send an email to the factory. It makes the whole experience seamless. And what I would say is, if you're pretty good at DIY, there is no reason you can't build one of these cars. You may need a little bit of help, say mating the gearbox and the engine together, but get a friendly mechanic, offer him a couple of beers. Next, we're talking about time. Now the thing is, I find building a car like a fine wine. You want to savor it, you want to take your time. But in reality, Ultima say an RS takes 350 hours to build. Now, what does 350 hours look like? Well, if you say build the car one day of every weekend and one evening, it will probably take you about a year. A nice, relaxed, steady build. If you work both days of every weekend and a couple of nights a week, you can do it in 6 months. And if you really, really want to push it out, do a 40-hour week and you can do it in 3 months. But as I said, I'm one of those people that like to build, sit back, crack open a beer and just admire. Next, space. How much room do you need? Well, you can build an RS in a single garage. It's not easy, but you can do it. And the reason I say it's not easy, it's because if you imagine once you have the chassis arrive, that's the size of the car. And then you have all the boxes that you have to store. And then the bigger challenge comes when the bodywork is delivered, because suddenly then, until the bodywork is mounted on the car, you need 2 car spaces. Now, it's not to say you can't store the body panels outside, because after all, they are weatherproof, but really, to comfortably build a car, you need a double garage. No more, just a double garage will do. And actually, the Dean Den, this very room itself, which I'm going to give you a guided tour in a moment, this is where I have built all 7 of my previous builds. From Westfields to Cobras, and the build I enjoyed most was an Ultima GTR back in 2002. Yep, I'm a repeat customer, as is many Ultima customers, because the building experience is just very, very enjoyable. So let's do a bit of walking around, a bit of vlogging as they say, and I'll give you a tour of Dean's Den. No. So sorry if the camera's a bit shaky, but we start the tour of the Dean Den in my virtual study. Now, as you can see here, what I've done is just converted the corner of the garage into what I would say is just a little haven. That's where I drink my tea and sip my beer, watch motor racing, and I'll be looking at the build as it comes together. Now, as we come around, nice picture on the wall there, you'll see I've invested in a lot of cabinets. Now, I like to be organised. I like things all in their place. And if this sort of building environment sort of appeals to you, go to my website, link below, and you'll be able to see where I've taken this starting point and I've made it into this. I show every stage of how to do it in 4 articles that were published, I believe, in Kit Car magazine many years ago. Now here is where the build is going to happen. Those axle stands you see there, well, the big axle stands, the chassis stands really, those came with my Ultima GTR kit. And they've seen a lot of action. They've built a Cobra replica, they've built an Ultima GTR, they've built, what was it, my Dax Rush. And then behind, we have my lovely cabinets. All integrated, bamboo worktops. Yeah, bamboo. Very hard wood, very durable. Machine vise, you always need a machine vise. You need lighting, good lighting, electric, and let me show you some of my drawers. These drawers. Oh, look at that, look at that. Now that, little tip here, if you want to organise fasteners, these things here, these are business card holders. You can buy about 100 on eBay for about £10, $15, and they fit in these units perfectly. However, not everything is really organised. Let's have a look in here. That's more like it, isn't it? That's more like a typical garage, but what's nice is you can just shut it all away. And up here, you'll be able to see I'm an advocate of auto glim. No sponsorship here by any chance, but this is just Christmas and birthday presents over many years. So apart from good lighting and a good bench, good machine vise, the other thing I would recommend is a pillar drill. And here, not over expensive. I remembered something my father used to say to me. He used to say that the cheapest pillar drill is more accurate than the most expensive hand drill. So here, Clark, £150, $200, and there you go. You can see my Ultima hat there. What's along here? Oh, these are my little trophies. Ferrari calipers, or a McLaren caliper, that's cool. And here, this is what a piston and conrod looks like out of a 10,000 horsepower dragster when it lets go. Just look at the damage. Just look at that. I'll get it in focus. And then over here, oh, police outside, hopefully not coming for me. This is my entertainment zone. Flat screen TV, Lego, of course, I love Lego. Bar, you can watch Sky up there, watch the Formula One. And then down here, my tools. Look at my tools, I love tools. And on the topic of tools, what do you need? Well, as you can probably see in my garage, this is my assembly point, by the way, and some of my lovely tools. There's one missing. Where is it? Oh, I had a cold sweat then. There you go. So I got a bit carried away there, sorry, showing you my tools around my garage, but back to the topic of tools. What tools do you need to build an Ultima RS? Well, you don't need welding equipment. You don't need a lathe. You don't need a folding machine. You don't need a milling machine. Actually, all you need is a good selection of hand tools. So, to build the Ultima, I've got metric and imperial spanners. That's European and American hardware for you. Also screwdrivers, Allen keys, things like that. Nothing over the top, and probably the most expensive tool you'll have to buy is a torque wrench to torque down the actual bolts and nuts that hold the thing together. What I would say is you'll need an engine lifter, obviously, a crane to put the engine and gearbox in, but I'd borrow one or even hire one. Those things are a real pain when they're sitting in your garage and they're not used at all. So that's it. So space, double garage, time, 350 hours. Tools, not a lot of tools really. Just hand tools, just normal hand tools. And finally, skill set. As long as you can do DIY, you can do this. So, I have some amazing news to share with you. Amazing. Just let me sit back down in my study and I'll tell you. Oh, exciting news. Sorry, I need to tell you. I got an email from the factory yesterday, and the email said, your car is ready for delivery. So next Tuesday, that's only 4 days away, I'm going to take delivery of Pack A, plus the fuel tanks, plus another couple of bits. So the next video, number 3, will be the delivery. I tell you what, this is the best Christmas present I could possibly imagine. So on that note, I'm going to leave you until next time, when I'll have the biggest grin on my face that you can possibly imagine. Cheers.